So let's come to the last part of the commercial law, the clauses in charter party. A very important bunker clause that the charterer pays for the bunkers at the port of delivery, that when the owner has handed over or rather delivered the vessel to the charterer, okay, that this is the bunker, you fill up the bunker and continue on the charter. And it is agreed upon when the charterer redelivers, okay, that is the time, whatever the balance bunker, you will hand it over to me. I will not ask you to fill it up at the time of redelivery. But this can also be reversed, that at the time of delivery to the charterer, the ship owner gives a full bunker ship, and at the time of redelivery, the charterer fills it up. As I said, charter party is a very private contract. It depends on the ship owner, the carrier, and the charterer. Next is the ship clause. The ship owner very clearly that it is the charterer's responsibility that at every aspect of the ship, he is going to make the ship seaworthy. Now, if it is a voyage charter, then everything is in the hands of the owner. He does it. Time charter, it will be the charterer who will do it. But it will again be the ship owner who will do it. But bareboat and other this thing, just because I have given you the ship for a long time charter, doesn't mean that you can play around the ship and the people on board the ship. The ship has to be seaworthy at every stage of the voyage. Then ice clause. Now you can understand, December, January, March, we have also done marine insurance. The part that, insurance cover increases, that is the premium increases the moment the insurer feels that the risk is higher. So you would understand the ship going in icebound areas, it may be an ice class ship also, but despite that, there is a lot of stresses from the ice area and the extreme water temperature that can cause damage to the hull, meaning the insurance cover goes up. So it says that when a vessel is bound for port or ports which may be close to shipping by ice when the vessel arrives or after the vessel's arrival, it is the responsibility of the charterer to send the ship to a safe port. And this is a safe port is directly related to the ice clause, that if there is a chance of the hull getting damaged or the propeller getting damaged, well, the charterer will not send the ship there because the port will not be considered safe. And this is how the charter rate are negotiated. If the ship owner is putting too many conditions in the forms of clauses, the charterer will say, okay, I'll follow all of this, but then please reduce my charter rate. Negotiations, that's how they go on. To confirm protection from ship owner, a protective clause dealing with ice condition is inserted in the charter party. The ice clause, protects the ship owner from ice hazards and insurance problems. Because in a voyage charter, for example, and a time charter, everything, insurance, etc., is that in the hands of the ship owner. Under the principle of disclosure and representation, if the hull and machinery insurer has said that you are not going in icebound areas, if you are going, you will have to take our permission. So the ship owner will insert it as an ice clause. You are not going there without informing me so that I can inform the insurer. That is the objective of the ice clause. Then Lighterage clause is inserted into charter parties which show as port of discharge any safe port in a certain range between Le Havre. It is, I should put here correctly. Oh, it is thank you. Just Le Havre is France, Hamburg, Germany. We know that. So that where the ship may discharge, a lighterage clause, that the ship will be discharging only within this. So accordingly, if you want to take my ship on a voyage charter, let's sit across the table for further negotiation. Otherwise, it is tata bye-bye. Don't confuse lighterage clause with STS operation or other lighterage operation. It is, you are lightening the ship. It is done historically that these other terms of STS and etc. have come recently. Lighterage means that the discharge of the ship and the discharge port selection. Okay, so this is the lighterage clause, that the ship owner says that you will be discharging at a safe port and this is the range. And it is not going to be something that the cargo is for North Sea port, then no, this is not safe. You discharge it at ports. The Lighterage clause will include safe ports in the Baltic Sea. The charterer will tell the ship owner to take a walk or go for a swim. Negligence clause tends to exclude ship owner's liability for loss or damage resulting from an act, default, or neglect of the master by the service of the carrier in the navigation or maneuver, or not resulting from the due diligence. Now, I am a charterer. I have taken the ship on charter, voyage charter or a time charter, where the master, chief officer, chief engineer, senior management, and other officers and crew are employed by the ship owner. And what we have done in the clauses of the marine insurance, inch-mari clause, negligence clause, that the ship owner is covered if he says that if the damage happens as a result of negligence of the master or officer of the watch, well, the insurance still pays for it because the ship owner has bought that clause. So now it is the charterer who has taken the ship on charter, and tomorrow the charterer tells the master, please go to this port for loading and some damage happened. The charterer should not come. Well, it is because of this thing. I'm not going to pay for it. Negligence cause is there. Okay, I will claim it from you because I have paid a higher insurance premium. So don't come and say that because of the hull damage, your cargo gets damaged, you're going to come from me. I'm not going to pay for it. Negligence clause, which is the same thing, similar lines as the inch-mari clause, which is also known as the negligence clause. The February batch, of course, we have not done insurance. I will touch upon this negligence clause in the charter party when I'm doing the inch-mari clause in marine insurance. Indemnity clause. Under type charter party, the ship owner puts the vessel at the disposal of the charterer. Now we are talking about time charter, who can choose for himself what cargo he shall load and where he shall send the ship, provided that the limits prescribed by the contract are not exceeded. So it is reasonable to assume that consequences shall fall upon the person who made the choice. Which choice? Which port to go and which cargo to load. For it is the charterer who had the opportunity to decide upon the wisdom of the selection he makes, whether it is a safe port, and by sending the ship to load a particular cargo there, the ship cannot get damaged. The choice of selection of the cargo. Suppose I am a charterer, I charter a bulk carrier, and instead there I will load steel coils. The bulk carrier, okay, structure-wise it is strong, but where are the lashing points to lash the steel coil? So it is his wisdom that you will not do anything that will cause the damage to the ship that I have put it at your disposal, which cargo to load, depending upon the type of ship, which ports to go. So there are three elements of the indemnity clause. An implied indemnity, it is understood for the ship owner to be protected against the consequences of complying with the charterer's orders for employment of the vessel. So you are a master, the charterer says, okay, captain, please proceed to this port and we'll be loading this cargo. So under the terms and condition of the time charter party, the master is supposed to comply at the fastest possible practical way. He is supposed to reach that port. But if as a consequences some damage takes place, that the owner is protected, it will be paid for by the charterer, because it is expected you, Mr. Charterer, you will be wise to understand that what cargo to load and where to send the ship so that the hull and machinery of my ship does not get damaged. You have to protect me from that, otherwise you'll pay me for it. Implied indemnity, that the terms imposed on the owners by any bill of lading issued by the charterers will be heavier on the charterers than the owner's obligation under the charter party. This is what I said. Bill of lading supplements the charter party contract of a type of contract of affreightment, because eventually the cargo in any case is being loaded. So when the cargo is loaded, bill of lading as the ship bill of lading has to be issued. Now the point is that if any bill of lading terms and conditions, Hague-Visby rules, responsibilities, etc., is not followed, where there is a claim for damage for the cargo by the cargo owner or the shipper, whatever the case may be, the burden of paying that damage is heavier on the charter than the ship owner. Because under your instructions, we loaded this cargo and we have issued the bill of lading. We meaning the master or the agents of the owner. And finally, the implied indemnity arising from owner's compliance with charterer's request to deliver cargo without presentation of a bill of lading. If the charterer says that, okay, there is a letter of indemnity or this thing, release the cargo. On a time charter, we very happily discharge the cargo. But tomorrow, we are not complying. We have discussed it, that what is the issue with regard to letter of indemnity, etc. P&I Club treats it as a breach of contract. They are not going to cover it. Well, any other claim, I'm putting it, this thing that you will tell the cargo owner, the receiver of cargo, that you are not going to hold the ship owner responsible. What about your responsibility, which is not covered under letter of indemnity? You will tell your cargo owners, receiver and the shipper of cargo, that if there is any kind of this claim that as a cargo is released against letter of indemnity, then the cargo owner will take you, Mr. Charterer, to court. Don't tell him that he has to take me to court because I am the owner of the vessel. I'll take care of it when there is a part hire of the vessel and I am telling my agent to issue the bill of lading or issue the delivery note for release of the cargo against the bill of lading. Responsibility is mine. But under terms and condition of a time charter, your charterer's agent is going to issue the delivery note for the release of cargo against letter of indemnity. Then you take the responsibility, you tell the shipper. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
What happened? People are not guide?
Yes, sir.
All good. I hope you're well. My concern is only that all of you and your family members, your loved ones should be nice and healthy. That's most important. If I feel that kind of a thing, that there is a not very active Joshila response. Today is weekend, man. Come on, chill. Gin and tonic day. Anyway, ready berth clause is inserted in charter, that is stipulation to the effect that ladies will begin to count as soon as the vessel has arrived. Importance of notice of readiness. It protects the ship owner's interest against delays which arise from ships having to wait for berth. That's why you would have seen the moment the ship anchors, notice of readiness given, even at 2 o'clock in the morning, you would have come across, right? By Lighterage has started counting from the notice of readiness. If we are getting 4 days anchorage, well, my master cannot help it. He cannot stand on the head of the port. So, ready berth clause is inserted that the ladies will start counting. So accordingly, this is applicable. Now my question is, when we are talking about ladies, which type of charter are we talking about? Voyage charter or time charter? Come on, guys. Excellent. 10 or 10. You guys are too good. Kabhi lagta hai mujhe ki yaar, you guys, all of you are so smart. Meri zarurat hi nahi hai. Very good. Redelivery clause. The charterers, and you don't have to memorize it. Everything in this point form. Yeah, very high scoring question. 3 parts, 25 mark question, 8 or 9 mark. That write short notes on ice clause or redelivery clause or bunker clause. Perfectly fine. High scoring. Charterer's obligation to re-deliver the vessel in the same condition as when delivered to him. Delivered is to the charterer, re-delivered is back to the owner at the end of the charter. Okay. At the place, date and time giving the notice of redelivery by the charterers. It could be, I'll tell you how it happened. Suppose the ship was delivered to the charterers at Bombay and the redelivery clause says that it has to be redelivered at Bombay in the same condition. Okay, normal wear and tear we understand, but in the same condition. The last parcel of cargo just before the end of the charter period was to Goa. Now there are 2 options. That the charterer's obligation to take the ship at his cost from Goa to Bombay for redelivery. Or he can say, okay, Mr. Ship owner, I will pay you the cost which is there to take the ship from Goa to Bombay. Can you take the redelivery at Goa? It's a personal private contract. The ship owner can agree, but not without an agreed upon lump sum amount. The focus is the redelivery port and in the same condition as it was delivered. Now you may say, if it's a 5-year time charter, suppose, so there will be normal wear and tear. Yes, that is fair. Wear and tear is expected. But other than that, so that's why before redelivery, you'll find a ship owner will send the superintendent that please take a good look that everything is fine. Before we actually sign the contract that the vessel has been redelivered, we shake hands, it is started by. Under the most type charter party, vessel must be in the same good order at redelivery as delivered. Now this also happens very common in bulk carriers. Clean or dirty. After all, when the charterer takes the vessel, the hatches have to be cleaned. He will not take delivery of the vessel. The last cargo has been suppose coal. At that port, the redelivery back to the owners is happening. If it is said that the ship owner will take the redelivery in the dirty condition, depending upon whatever cargo you may be loading, the dirtiest possible cargo, he is going to increase the charter rate. Damn it, I'll have to have the ship clean. I'll have to give overtime to my crew. So I'm going to increase the charter rate. And other thing, okay, I want it clean. I don't want to increase the charter rate. Charter, I'll have it clean. But he changes his mind that, okay, can you take the redelivery of the ship? That is when it happened that a lump sum amount is given by the charterer to the ship owner, which runs into thousands and thousands of dollars. That the last cargo was coal. I'm redelivering in a dirty condition. Here's the lump sum amount. You please have it clean. That is also a possible. If the charterers are given an option of dirty, a sum in compensation to owners will be provided. It is all written in the charter party clauses. And actually, you may wonder that कि इतना वो overtime का वो चिंदीपना company दिखाती है. Now you wonder what's the big deal? Yeah, they've already got the money from the charterer to have it clean. A part of it will go in the extra overtime. What's the big deal? I'm not saying if the crew is asking for 100 hours, you say, nah, yeah, 100 hours, okay, because the ship owner is being paid for it. You tell the bosun, come on, that is unreasonable. You will get the extra overtime. So keep this in mind, that the owners have already been paid if the ship is dirty. Now, this is what is a very important thing. Cesser clause. Just give me a moment, just a second. Now, the word Cesser comes from cessation. Charlie, Echo, Sierra, Alpha, Tango, India, Oscar, November. Ceasing something, stopping. What happened there in a voyage charter? Suppose ladies are there. If more time is taken than ladies, charterer pays the ship owner debt on a pro rata basis. Now, what happens is, depending upon the terms and conditions of the voyage charter party, it may happen that the charterer's responsibilities and liabilities end at a certain time. He's taking it for a single voyage and it may end. I have had the cargo loaded. I have paid you part of the freight on a lump sum basis or per ton basis, as we have done in the voyage charter party. This is the port that I'll tell your master to go and discharge. The remainder of the freight, I'll pay you when remainder of the voyage charter hire rate, I'll pay you when the cargo is discharged and it is confirmed from the receiver of cargo. The ship has sailed, and if the charterer's responsibility has ceased, what happens if the charterer delays in the payment of freight, payment of the remainder of the voyage charter hire rate? Number two, if the laydays at the discharge port was 3 days, the cargo discharged in 4 days, as per the terms and condition of the voyage charter party, for that one additional day at the agreed rate, the charterer is supposed to pay the ship owner a demurrage. Are you with me or not?
Yes.
Now, at the discharge port, if the charterer's responsibility ceases at the load port, and he says, if there is demurrage, the receiver of cargo will pay. The ship owner says, who the hell is the receiver of cargo? I don't even know you. I'm knowing you. I have signed that voyage charter party contract with you. Don't worry, he's going to pay for it. Okay, I don't mind. I'm not a greedy person. I don't mind that taking. But what if he does not pay? So what is the carrier's, the ship owner's protection to ensure that the remainder of the voyage charter party rate is paid, and if there is a demurrage, it is paid? So therefore, Cesser clause is always called as Cesser and lien clause. Lien means I will hold the property till the time you do not make me the payment. For example, when we go to a bank to borrow money, to take a loan to buy a flat, why do we submit the original papers with the bank till the time all the EMIs and the loan amount is paid? The presence of those papers means that the bank has a lien on the flat. It is my flat, but the property papers are with him, the bank. That if I default on paying the loan because they have the lien, they have the hold. They can sell the property and claim their money, whatever the balance, I'll get it. Applicable in case of a car also. If I default in making the payment of a car, the bank has the lien, they will take away the car after giving warning, etc. But please hand over the car. You have not been able to pay the loan. We will auction the car, get the balance of our money. So